After waiting a lifetime, Charles III has officially been crowned as King of the United Kingdom. It goes without saying that we're all asking ourselves the same question. How did he really feel as the crown was placed on his head?
I want to know.
There's so much to speculate on, especially considering King Charles has long been good at remaining composed and professional when all eyes are glued to him. That's why we spoke to Jess Ponce III, body language expert, communication coach, and author of Awesome: 7 Keys to Unlocking the Speaker Within, about what was really going on in the new king's head and what his body language showed us. To Ponce, Harry's discomfort without Meghan Markle at the coronation was clear, yet not everyone is quite so obvious about how they're feeling just to look at them. According to Ponce, this is the case with King Charles. He explained, "It is important to note that he typically is not a physically expressive individual. Actually, he is quite understated with his body language. I would characterize him typically as someone with neutral facial expressions, subtle gestures, and a softer presence, yet in contrast, when he speaks, we hear the voice of a strong diplomat and king." However, despite his typically reserved demeanor, it's still obvious to Ponce that King Charles enjoyed the coronation. He explained, "There is no doubt this is King Charles's most celebrated moment to date, one that he has waited for a very long time to actualize. You would imagine that being crowned King of England would be an exuberant moment. It was, and in his own way, King Charles basked in it." It's good to know that amidst the family drama and the myriad conflicting emotions that surely affected him during the ceremony, he was still able to enjoy a day that was all about honoring him.
Your Majesty, as children of the Kingdom of God, we welcome you in the name of the King of Kings.
Still, since Charles tends to play it close to the chest, being able to note how he was feeling was new. Ponce said, "What was really interesting to see was how he physically expressed himself in an environment where there is very little speaking by him. Today he showed up sincerely and regally." While riding in the stagecoach alongside Queen Camilla, it was easy to see Charles taking a moment to process the momentous occasion. Ponce recalled, "He looked at his wife, looked down, looked at his attire, and then gazed out the window. He was literally taking it all in. It was as if he didn't believe this was happening, and his gaze out the window even seemed to be more of an internal reflection." As he entered the Abbey Church of Westminster, King Charles was surely aware that all eyes were on him, Ponce noted. King Charles was royal. He looked straight ahead and proceeded with intention and gravitas. His steps were even and determined. His facial expressions were focused. He wore the royal outfit. It did not wear him. That's a hard task when there's so much pomp and circumstance around the royal garb. When the ceremony finally began, Charles spent quite a bit of time sitting and listening as those around him spoke and sang. During this time, Ponce noted, "It's not often that we see King Charles alone, yet as the sole center of attention, he had incredible presence. Too often he is surrounded by his family, controversy, and others who draw attention away from him. Today on his own, he stood regal, proud, and determined." Regardless of your take on the coronation, this was easy to see for anyone. Ponce added, "You could see it in his eyes, gestures, and movement. He's owning the title in his own way and showed up big time." It's clear that the gravity of the day set in for Charles, and he was able to soak in the moment. This ability to stay focused and composed is sure to serve him well as he serves his people.